When we think a thought, it is just that, a thought, okay? It is just a perception. It's just the translation of what we are perceiving. If, for example, and I want to use a positive thought, if I get into a situation where I have to do something, and maybe I know how to do it, maybe I don't, maybe I know a bit, but I think to myself, you know what? Again, because I am neutral, this thing maybe is difficult or seems complicated, but I believe I can do it. I can figure it out, okay? If I go at it with that perception, which translates to thought, I project that into the universe, okay? I put it out there that I can. The energy that I send out is an energy that is to say, I can do it. It is possible. Now, once I've done the projecting of that thought, and I keep projecting that, it manifests back to me as a real possibility and something that I can do by presenting to me that I have done it. So I will actually be able to do it. Once I do it, it reaffirms my initial thought that I can do it. And now I really truly believe, or that my thought is confirmed that I can actually do it. And then we go back. The thought then starts to grow even more. Same way if it's a negative thought. I may think that somebody does not like me. And they will come, they'll be nice, and I'll say, okay, yeah, I guess, I just feel inside that they don't like me. If I continue thinking that, for whatever reason, eventually, if I continue projecting that, eventually, that thought is going to manifest back to me. The person is going to say something that, because remember that I'm sending out an energy that I know you don't like me. When that energy gets to the other person, depending on whether their energy is stronger or whatever, or basically if they're in a good, strong, solid place, they will do things knowingly or unknowingly that feed into your energy, okay? They will say something that will sort of bring to reality your thought that they don't like you. So it will manifest. And once it manifests, maybe it's something they will say, or maybe it's something they will do, or not do for that matter. And your mind will go back to the thought and say, I knew it. I knew she doesn't like me, that's why she's done X, Y, Z. And once you do that, you affirm that thought. And now you really believe that that thought is actually true. Because you believe it's true and the thought is now more solid, the next time you meet this person or you interact with the person or even think about them, you kind of have a stronger belief that you are right. They don't like you. And the more you continue that way, you project, it manifests, then there's a reaffirming now, the thought gets stronger. You project it again, it manifests back and you believe it. If, however, you say, I know this person is friends with XYZ. XYZ is, or XY. X is a very good person or would not interact with a person of that nature. Because of how you perceive X, now you're starting to bend your perception of this person who you thought did not like you. And when you start to bend that, again, you project that thought, and that thought manifests back. The next time they speak to you or say something or do something, you are softer where they're concerned. and you will actually see that they are not as bad. That is how you start to change your thought process about people. So what we think actually manifests, and that's it. Now, how does the thought become us? If I am a bitter person, okay, if I'm angry, if I'm in a space where I'm just angry at, maybe I'm angry at a person at home, and I've not quite dealt with that anger, I carry it along with me. If I'm unconscious about it, I carry it along, and now I'm snapping in the traffic, I'm snapping at work, I'm continuing to, to allow myself to be irritated or controlled by this negativity. It starts, I project more of it into the universe. And the more I project, the universe then manifests it back to me, either through a colleague or, just things just start irritating me and annoying me. You will even get to a point where, I will get to a point where I pick up my phone and it does not work. And I want to smash it. I'm like, what is wrong? Nothing seems to be going the way I want. So I'm getting angrier and angrier, projecting, manifesting, reaffirming, thinking it, projecting, manifesting, reaffirming, thinking it. Eventually, I become an angry person. I become that. And we've heard of people who are just bitter in their lives. They're just sour. And they actually have illnesses that are a result of that. They have heart disease. And I'm not saying everyone who has a heart disease is a sour and bitter person. But we know of people who are just always unhappy about life or people, or angry about traffic, the government. They're just so negative. They actually, besides just having that negative energy that they walk into a room and you can just feel like, oh my God, or they call you and you just feel like, oh, I don't want to talk to this person because I already can feel them. You actually are feeling their energy, okay, their negative energy. Or somebody calls you and you're like, oh, I really want to speak to this person. When you pick up the phone, you're even smiling already because their positive energy has actually come through just by seeing their name on the phone when they call, or seeing their number, or meeting them. So it can actually, our thoughts then become us, okay? Our thoughts become a physical manifestation in our bodies. And if you're angry, you start to give off toxins or chemicals inside your body that actually change the chemistry and biology of your physical body. Okay? So your thought literally becomes your physical self. And we have to be very, very careful in choosing our thoughts. So in the same way, if we allow our thoughts to go unchecked, if we allow ourselves to get lost in unconscious thought that is not positive, it starts to affect our mental well-being. This is how people slip into depression without realizing. This is how people slip into anxiety or, bouts of extreme anger without realizing. They cannot explain to you how they got there. It's because they were just not aware. And in another video, I'll talk about how we can get ourselves to start being aware of these thoughts that we're having, to know where our thoughts are sitting. Am I neutral? Am I sitting more in the high vibrational, happy space, content, and so on and so forth? Or am I sitting in a low vibrational, angry, guilty, guilt-ridden space? Or am I sitting in a sad place for a long time so that it becomes me and starts to make me mentally unwell or unstable in that sense, until I come to a place where now I have a mental disorder? So I will talk about that in another video. Stay tuned. Please don't forget to click the buttons. Otherwise, thank you very much.